Welcome to the Good Rookie Show. My name is Faheem.
And my name is Nelly J, y'all. And we are Good Rookie.
That's right.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Good Tuesday. And guess what? It's the Good Rookie Show. Yeah. What's going on, y'all? As you know, we're your hosts, coming to you from Toronto, Canada, the 6th. Happy 2024. It is on its way, Faheem. I can't believe it's already been 3 weeks or like 2-3 weeks of this year. Like, how is the year going by? But major news dropped this week, and I gotta get your thoughts. Shaquille O'Neal will be getting his jersey retired with the Orlando Magic. Woo! Are you shocked? Are you surprised? Or you think it should be well-deserved? You got it.
Well-deserved. Yeah. Definitely in the well-deserved. Maybe you're overdue, tell you the truth. I don't know. Have the Magic, have they retired anyone else's jersey?
No, he was the only one. That's what I'm saying.
Right?
Now only, I think only the Raptors and is it no. I think the Raptors and one other team are the only team that have not retired any jerseys yet. Right. Ever. They were like us, where they never had anyone retired, but he's the first that be retired. That means he has 3 jerseys retired for 3 different teams.
Wow. And it's funny that he did the last one for Shaq, like, because he had 2 others, you're saying, right? So I'm actually more surprised by that. He started the franchise pretty much, put them on the map. It feels very much like with Vince Carter in Toronto, where Shaq left. The circumstances weren't great when Shaq left for LA. Maybe that's kind of why. Same thing with Vince. When Vince left Toronto, go to New Jersey. Same thing, right? Maybe the fans, the base is maybe a little bitter. So maybe that's why it took so long. But they definitely got it right. Shaq in Orlando Magic jersey hanging there. It's only right.
So Faheem, a trivia question: what is the other team that hasn't have a retired jersey outside of just Toronto? If you can guess.
Can you give me Eastern? Give me a hint. Eastern or West?
West.
Sacramento.
Clippers.
The Clippers.
Remember we Sacramento retired jerseys a couple years ago. Remember that was in the podcast. We spoke about Minnesota and Sacramento retiring some jerseys. But yeah, the Clippers have not retired any jerseys yet. Maybe it'll be Kawhi since he's there and there's some new stadium. I think he might get it, but let's see.
Clippers.
Let's see. Remember, it's similar, right? If they can go further in the playoffs, he's played there. He's kind of helped them. Like, I think their revenue went up now too, having Paul George, Kawhi going there, him wanting to go there. That was a big news, right? Maybe that's why they retire him. But to your point, Toronto and Clippers are the only ones. One has a championship, one doesn't. So quite interesting. Faheem, next trivia. Shaq will have now 3 teams retiring his jerseys. Can you guess who was the other player that had 3? Only one other player for him in history have ever had 3 teams retire his jersey. 3. Can you guess who was the other one outside of Shaq who now has it?
I think, what legend has played for 3 teams that are going to retire? May I get a hint?
What kind of hint can I give you? You gotta guess he's definitely a top 5 player. I'll say this. He's the top 5 player. I'll say he played for Philadelphia. I'll give you that. He played for Philly.
Top 5 player that played for the Sixers. I'm thinking not Dr. J. Sixers. What? Not AI. Okay, give me one more not, and then I'll just give you who I.
So he played for the Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And he also played for the Lakers.
Played for the Sixers and the Lakers.
He played for the Warriors. My God, look, the Warriors too. He played for the Warriors.
So you gave me all 3 teams. So who's played for
the Warriors, Philly, and Lakers. He played for those 3 teams.
Warriors. And you said he's a top 5 player?
Top 5 player of all time. Hell yeah. Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt.
Oh, yeah. I failed miserably. Yeah, Wilt Chamberlain. Good one.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's tough because I didn't know that. That's why it's the trivia, right? I'm sure everyone listening is like, yo, who's she talking about? Some people may have gotten it quicker. Some probably didn't get it at all. But yeah, Wilt Chamberlain, So Shaq joins Wilt as the
Mm,
only two players in NBA history to have three jerseys retired by their former team. So big
nice.
up to Shaq.
Yeah,
Another reason why he's also a top five in my opinion.
almost deaf.
I won't go there. Yeah.
All right. Nelly J. The best-selling sports drinks of 2023 was announced. It's at the end of the year here. I found it very interesting, and the reason why I think, especially discussing sports drinks, we know the first one on the market is obviously Gatorade. They've been around since the 80s,
Mm-hmm.
and others have followed suit. No one has really got a chance to kind of break their, I wouldn't say monopoly, but there's some new players out here that, for a new generation might, and it's foreseeable that they might be getting some competition. We'll say that. This is the top five, which we have so far. Okay, so obviously it's Gatorade.
Mm-hmm.
They $7 billion of sales
Wow.
last year. Body Armor. So just for
Wow.
yes, but for context though, so Gatorade in regards to sales is out of here. It's 7 billion.
Of
Um,
course.
then, then
They're a sponsor for the NBA and a lot of
right,
sport leagues. So
of course, right.
imagine, you know what I'm saying, how much money revenue they get.
Right. So we're going from 7 billion and then everything else is like 1 billion going forward and then even less, right? So there's a big
Yeah.
gap. There's like a $6 billion difference. Okay. But number two, Body Armor, they're 1.4 billion. Number three is Powerade, which is 1.2 billion. So pretty much calling it tied. And then it drops down from going from 1.4 and 1.2 billion down to 300 and almost 400 million. Okay, so there's another big gap
Mm-hmm.
of like 500 million again. So there's like tiers to this. The bottom tier of the top five is Prime.
Which Prime is that? Is that
Uh,
like is that Amazon Prime? They have a power drink?
not
Okay,
Amazon
that's
Prime. Logan
I did
Paul.
not know Amazon had a power drink. Yo, Amazon has
So,
everything, man. These guys are just trying to make money. They're like, yo, how can we get a brand? You know what I'm saying? Like these guys are just, oh my gosh. Okay.
so Logan Paul, the YouTuber slash boxer, we'll put some respect on his name. He's putting in some work in the ring. So it's Logan Paul and another YouTuber, KSI. They own
Oh yeah, KSI is
Prime,
huge.
right? So they own Prime, which is 377
Oh,
million.
they own Prime. So those two guys own the company Prime.
Yes, that's it.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. I thought it was Amazon. I'm like, huh? Okay. So they own
Okay.
Prime. I was like,
They own
what
the
the hell?
the 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 sports drink
The sport
Prime.
drink Prime. I'm surprised
Yep.
Amazon Prime will go after them to get the name. But okay.
Mm, mm.
All right.
And well, I guess maybe because they're in two different markets, maybe there's enough separation between the two sporting drinks and maybe
Yeah, so they're actually called the actual full name Faheem. So yeah,
Mhm.
it's not just called Prime. The full name is Prime by Logan Paul and KSI. So
Oh,
Prime is like the short version, but like I guess legally it's not
right,
just Prime. You know what I'm saying? It's
right. Mm,
lemonade hydration. So it's Prime
mm,
Hydration is a full name, but
mm,
yeah, because I'm like nobody could call something just Prime and just, and have this
mm.
guy over there not come at you. But yeah, it's called Prime Hydration Drink. Is the actual
Really.
name.
All right.
Okay,
And
okay.
the final one is elect. Okay, let me read this because I've never seen of all.
Electrolyte?
No, not elect. I think it's a play on the word electrolyte, but actually it's really called electrolyte. Electrolyte.
Electrolyte.
But they are
Okay.
at 370 million. So they're up there with Prime also. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, those are the top five. Getting back to Prime though, in regards to the change year over year, everything seems to be steady. Gatorade's up at 11, about 11%. Body Armor has actually gone down about 10%. Powerade's gone down. So it seems like the sport drink market is kind of maybe taking a hit somewhat.
Very competitive.
Um,
Mhm.
right. But then when we come back to Prime with Logan Paul and KSI, they've got a change of 1,600. So $1,600 or sorry, 1,600 percentage that they've gone up in
Wow.
1 year.
Wow.
And then lastly, electrolyte went up 20%. So the whopping thing in regards to Prime and sports energy drinks, I'd have to say is I guess timing also. Logan Paul was fighting quite a bit of fights. He's kind of very popular. So
Yeah,
which would
he's
give
been
him a
popular
chance
on
to
YouTube. They're
right.
both popular social media
Mm-hmm.
influencers.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's interesting. And this is all according I'm seeing to where Circana, I guess whoever did this these numbers. This
Okay.
is according to their numbers. So they did
Mm-hmm.
the math
Okay.
via
The
Darren
boardroom.
Rovell. So anyone coming
Okay.
after good rookies acting. This is our numbers, y'all.
Right. You
This
know,
is
yeah, let's
these
get our
guys,
sources. And we got
they
this
pulled the
from the
numbers. That's the
boardroom
source. That's
off
the
of
source.
Instagram.
They put the
So
sources out there.
that's right.
Um
Hmm.
but no,
Um,
KSI, thing with KSI, he's 13.2 million followers on Instagram. That's a lot. So the fact that he's the owner of this drink, he's a founder. And so like it seems like this makes sense, you know what I'm saying? And looking at like who he's working with, I see that Pat Mahomes is also a sponsor. So Pat
mm,
Mahomes is one of their spokesperson. He's kind of
wow.
good. He's pretty
He's all
he's all
right.
right.
That's a good choice. I'm not mad at that.
uh, I'm seeing that they had Crawford, Shakur, a few guys. So they're having a lot of people. So as guests
Hmm.
come through, they take pictures with Prime. Like I'm liking their marketing strategy. It just seems like they're doing a lot. You know what I'm saying? In terms
Hmm.
of, and also they're in Dazn. I don't know, does KSI, does he fight? Is he a fighter too? Or do they see him
They
that
fought, but
he,
he's
I,
he's
I
leveled.
I
Yep.
think he does do a little bit of
Hmm.
fighting or
Yeah,
boxing.
oh, for sure he does. Yeah.
He does boxing too, right? KSI.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
both boxers, both making celebrity boxing a thing. Yeah, and they have shows on YouTube. So yeah, it seems like they're probably targeting the younger crowds. You know, their target audience will not be us. We're not, but I can see
Hmm.
like the 20, 30 and unders. You know what I'm saying? Those their fan
Hmm.
base. So yeah,
Hmm.
that's a good look, man. I respect it.
Hmm. So some of the with sports drinks, like I was saying, Gatorade in the 80s is mainly, obviously it was water before it was like water and milk that they used to fuel them. There's in Gatorade, they made was it so I'm just going to read this here. The drinks contain carbohydrates, which is sugar, which can provide an immediate source of energy at the time when the body stores are used up. Okay, so sports drinks also have electrolytes, as we know, which are good for you when you're sick, like sodium and potassium. And that's what the body loses when you sweat. So that's why it keeps the body levels for the fluid in balance and helps your muscles work properly. Which makes me think of
Yeah,
a bit.
but doctors do say that like, and this is Dr. Niche, like Dr. Niche, this one quote that he said, he was saying water, and water should be the beverage of choice for hydration before, during, and after physical activity or exercise routines,
Mhm.
lasting less than 1 hour. So water should be it should be your preference regardless. But
Mhm.
I know they recommend sports drinks if you're doing like a heavy extended exercise that lasts longer than an hour. Right? So
Mhm.
people who
Mhm.
play sports, people who are training for multiple hours, yeah, you could definitely drink that, the sports drink. But I think if you're now, like you said, like you're depleted those, of those carbohydrates, is it depletion mode? Then yeah, but they recommend water before these drinks. But I think some people may have these like I forgot where I read it, but drink like Faheem, too much of anything isn't good, right? But
Mhm.
water is recommended. I don't want to promote that, but the sports drink for children it says only during heavy exercising that lasts longer than an hour. So if you're not doing a heavy exercise or whatever you're doing is not over an hour, then you shouldn't be drinking these type of drinks. It
That I did
shouldn't
not
be,
know.
you know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
it is hydration focus. I know when I got sick, the doctor recommended I drink Gatorade because I couldn't eat as much food as I should.
Mhm.
So he's like drinking that will just help your body, function normally as you recover. To your point, when you're sick, but you should drinking water and that, not just that alone. I think some people kind of are extremists when it comes to the sports drinks.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
On the way of this, let me throw to you a trivia question, Nelly J.
Hmm.
Do you know why Gatorade is named Gatorade?
Gatorade. I'm gonna make a joke. The name came from some guy. He probably's from Florida. Has to be a Florida guy. And
Mhm.
because of gators, he probably was like, "Oh, gator," and maybe they're gonna eat us. That's what I'm thinking.
Wow. Your
Has to be
joke,
that. Like who? Like
your
when I see
joke couldn't.
Gatorade, I think of gator. I think of gators. So I'm thinking that has to be a Florida person.
Wow. Well, your joke couldn't be more true.
Really? No
Yeah.
way. You're lying.
Well,
No way.
the name Gatorade comes
The
from
man's from Florida?
the no, no, watch this. The name comes from the University of Florida football team, the Gators, and it was
No.
made as a thirst quencher that was invented at the University of Florida. So they were like they were the first team to actually test out Gatorade.
That is hilarious. I just thinking like gators and aiding someone, so Gatorade. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah.
Wow, that's why I'm pretty good at marketing, I guess. I can't- That is hilarious. I think of Gator, I'll think of Florida. I don't know why. I'm like, it has to be a Florida thing, man.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
funny. Wow.
Yes. Yeah. These sports selling drinks, I do find that it's not just for athletes, actually. I see them when you go to the gas station. People will, especially during the summer when people want to steal. It's not just for athletes now. I feel like it's crossed over to just being like a drink. I find myself.
Yeah, like I know I'll drink Gatorade. Like if I'm going for like a long walk and I have a full day, I'll have
Mhm,
a Gatorade because I know I'm going to be active for like a
mhm,
long time and I don't want to get dehydrated or whatever.
mhm.
But yeah, like I probably drink Gatorade maybe once, not drink one, but I like Powerade too. But I prefer
Mhm,
Gatorade, the orange one. That's
mhm.
my drink. But
Okay.
I haven't seen Prime of the other ones in Canada. I don't know if that's an
Yeah, me
American
neither. It
drink.
might
I
just be
haven't
a
seen them up here.
US thing.
Maybe they'll come up here soon, but I haven't had
Mhm.
access. But I feel like we're giving free advertising to Gatorade now on Powerade. So I wanna
Yeah.
let's go to goddamn.
All right. Well, Nelly J, let's go to for the culture.
For the culture, I would like to highlight individuals for the culture. And today, God, we want to highlight a special exhibition that occurred at the end. Well, it finished in 2023. So the Book of HOV, for those who don't know who HOV is, Jay-Z had an exhibit at the Brooklyn Public Library. Okay. When I was in New York last year for the WNBA championship, I actually wanted to go to the exhibit, but it was raining like so badly. It was just terrible outside. So I didn't get to make it out there. So I kind of regret not going to it. But nonetheless, Faheem, the reason why the Book of Hope for the culture, not only because is it showcasing one of the greats of hip hop and the greats, of writers and lyricists and all these things, his exhibit, Faheem, brought in over 600,000 visitors during its stint, and it broke record attendance numbers for the library.
Woo!
So let's big it up to JayZ, ROC
Mhm,
Nation, who was the
mhm.
guys who curated the exhibit, for really creating a great experience. Now, looking online for him, this exhibit looks so dope. It had images, it had his lyrics. They did a really good job displaying just, a view of, what it became of being Hove, right? I also want to show that the cost of it was free. So it didn't cost you any money to go see the exhibit. And it was a tribute, I think, recognizing Sean, so Jay-Z Carter, for his journey from Brooklyn's Marcy Projects to now becoming a billionaire, which we all know, right? Um, it's a multimedia exhibit. It has and just everything, right? Explores his entire impact as a musician, his entrepreneur ventures, his philanthropy, his innovations that he created. It just covers all aspects for him. But yeah,
Wow.
I just love the fact that, everyone knows who knows me knows that I like books. I like reading. I like books, though. I'm not into the Kindle ting ting, but Kindle's good. I mean, I like, but I'm a book person. I like to have the paper in my hand. I like to flip the pages. I like that type of energy. But the fact that it's not only brought people to the library for him, how many people do you know go to the library still? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
or public libraries still. So I just love the fact that, this did break records. And I'm hoping for him that we see other artists and other, innovators, philanthropists do more exhibits at libraries. I think we need that because we need more people reading. and reading
Hmm.
books. So, Faheem, what's your thoughts on this? JayZ's ROC Nation, creating the exhibit and breaking attendance records for the library.
Amazing. I want to ask, do you know? So you mentioned it's free. There must have been crazy lineups, I'm assuming, or did you do you?
So I have friends from Brooklyn. When it first opened up, it was crazy, but yeah,
Mhm.
it was just busy. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if the lineups were like that much, like oh come in, but I'm sure they had
Mhm.
lineups for sure
Mhm.
on
No,
certain days. You know what I mean?
mhm.
Um,
Yeah, I
mhm.
saw pictures of or some footage from the exhibit. Looks dope. Well deserving. Kind of fitting. In Brooklyn, where he's from. Um, you know, flipping it to kind of like the contribution beyond just the exhibit. I think of like we just talked about a few weeks ago with LeBron
Mm-hmm.
and LeBron and his exhibit or museum. LeBron's a museum. Is that correct? It wasn't an exhibit. It's a museum.
It's a
LeBron's
museum. So yeah,
museum.
so
Okay, a little
exhibit
bit
is
different.
like so
Okay.
his museum is open forever. This
Mhm.
exhibit closed December 4th, 2023.
Right.
So
Nice.
yeah. But I'm sure like remember, right? These are artifacts. These are actual like these are artwork. These are things that is probably worth a lot of money and value and different
Mm-hmm.
things.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that it's for free to see it, because typically you have to pay to see these kind of items, right? So it's kind of like donating back to your community, showing them, hey, here's some of my artwork, and like if you go to the bookofhope.com, it kind of shows you all the items like signed CDs and video cassettes. Hello? Y'all know what
Mm-hmm.
video cassettes are? VHS? Y'all know what that is? Record. They had a whole bunch of just unique items that you probably is probably worth lots of money and just
Right.
valuable, right?
Mm-hmm.
His platinum records, like it had everything. So like magazine covers, everything, like his awards. So it seemed like, they had it for a few months there. And I'm sure for him, they'll probably bring it back again and add more to it, right? It's his first time they're doing it. But yeah, this is more of a hey, come to the library. It's free. Check out this exhibit. It's one of your own. And I think the goal, if I would assume the goal is to innovate and motivate the kids there that live in that area, right? The exhibit started July 14th. So it was there for at least 6 months, almost. Yeah.
That's dope. Um, Jay-Z, I heard actually, so about the Super Bowl. Super Bowl is coming up. I guess maybe someone
Mm-hmm.
might have asked him about maybe performing. He was because he's obviously on the committee for deciding um, the Super Bowl halftime. Said, pretty much this paraphrasing, but kind of like, he just wanted to give others a chance, and he clearly hasn't ruled it out. So I'm gonna ask you, how many years? Actually, let me flip it. Who do you think does the Super Bowl first, Drake or Jay-Z?
Mm, I don't know, actually. That's tough. I think it depends on location of the Super Bowls. Like if a Super Bowl is in New York, Jay-Z's
Mhm.
doing it. Period.
That'd be
If they
cool.
have one in like those, yeah, but their stadium is so old, they gotta renovate that.
Mhm.
But if they do it in like a New York area, then yeah, he will be doing it. Drake, I just feel like I can see them asking Drake. I mean, the weekend had it before the Drake, which I think is no one had that coming. But I
Right.
just think with Drake, it wouldn't be him headlining. But I think,
Really? You
well,
don't
that's
think
the
so?
thing, right? Because
Okay.
like I feel like Drake's music for some reason, like even when they had the hip hop artists on there, it's always with like five other people. It's not just one hip hop artist. If you notice it, like if you
Yeah.
look back at all the Super Bowl like performers, they're either pop stars, rock bands, and then hip hop artists is always like it's them with someone else. It's never them headlining by themselves.
Yeah. But you can make an argument to say Drake maybe is pop, not pop like just popular, like
Oh,
he just like
I don't want to go on a
his
debate because you heard
no
what
no no no
most
no
you
hold
heard
on hold on.
what
But his
you heard what
music,
they talk
the
about him.
music, the music
No,
range,
no,
he does
Drake
he's
has
not just a
pop. Drake has
he's not
pop
just a
pop
rapper.
songs. I'll give him
He's not
that.
just a rapper.
But
He's a
yeah,
rapper. He also sings also.
yeah, he could
Like
do both.
he
I
gives,
agree.
what I'm
He
saying?
can do
His
both.
his audience is much broader than just like a rapper. So
Yeah, I
mhm.
get that, but I also think it's Rock Nation, and I think Rock Nation is gonna bring up their artists and the teams that they work with to promote because they make double the money, right?
Mhm.
I feel like Drake is with his label is not tied to them. And so I feel like, or like, I'm not even sure, was Drake's tour with Rock with what do you call it? With their tourist company? I don't know. Like, I
Oh,
feel like to
Live
get on there, you
Nation.
have to kind of be connected with that. But I mean, who knows? They could have asked Drake already. He said no, but I don't think Drake would have said no, though. I think if he was asked, he would say yes. But also, I don't think he's dropped an incredible album as of late, right? Like an amazing album. But then Rihanna didn't drop any incredible albums either, but she still did halftime. But she's also a pop star. Her and Jay-Z are close friends. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Yeah, yeah,
who they
yeah.
pick are people that are like in their network. Like, I haven't seen Drake even at the ROC Nation like breakfast brunch. I don't
I'm not
know.
disagreeing you, but you could also say, well, the weekend. I don't think the weekend's really in. Like, if anything, I think the weekend would be closer to Drake than he would be to
But
Jay-Z,
but what
and
I'm
he just
saying, like,
doubled
the
it.
Weeknd's a pop star, and a lot of non-black people
So
like the Weeknd.
he's
Like, you know what I'm saying?
okay.
Like, he's a pop star. Like, he's not, and he's a straight singer. He's not just like rapping. Like, his audience isn't the same as Drake's audience. Two different audience people.
I think
It's
Drake's got a bigger audience though than Weekend.
you may think that, but the Weeknd's audience is quite big. Which, first of all, I didn't even know that. I think Drake, he's dropped way more new songs, way more everything. So his streaming numbers will always be surpassed to the Weeknd, but the Weeknd isn't far off. And guess what, Faheem, who do you think has the highest grossing tour ever by a Black artist after Mike? And he just passed Michael Jackson. Who do you think surpassed Michael Jackson this year, the Weeknd or Drake?
Uh, I guess the way that the question's positioned, it was the Weekend.
Yes. So to say, like, listen, the Weeknd,
Wow.
listen, the Weeknd is
Uh-huh.
again, they're both great artists. That's what I'm saying. We're comparing like two great, and again, I love because we're comparing like two great Canadian artists, which I love. But these guys are both breaking records. Drake got the streaming records down pat because he has so much more songs. This man's
Mhm.
streaming records are crazy. But the Weeknd, he passed Michael Jackson's The Bad Tour. His tour last year, sorry, surpassed Michael Jackson.
Mhm.
Okay, like, that is hard to do, and he's the
Shout,
only Black artist to pass Michael Jackson,
shout out to
for his
Drake,
tour
who also this year passed Michael Jackson for number
for
one, most number
streaming.
ones,
Yeah,
most
number
ever number
ones.
ones on Billboard. Just yeah, so
That's
they're
what
both.
I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. So to me, like, I think people always undermine the Weeknd thinking he's not as big as Drake, but I think
Mhm.
he is as big, and in some areas he could be bigger because he is R&B, he is pop, he's huge overall, and so is Drake. They're both really big, but
Mhm.
I just think people think, oh, the Weeknd isn't on Drake's level. I think he is. I
Mhm.
think him and Drake are together in terms of popularity, their fan base, everything. So that's why, like, I wouldn't put one over the other. And even
Mhm.
Drake has said, yeah, The Weeknd is like, he's good. Even Drake has co-signed The Weeknd being like a great artist, but being like the fact that he surpassed Michael Jackson for, because again, to me, artists to me are defined by tours. All the streaming stuff, yeah, I play you. Drake has so many. I get that, but for me, an artist to me is when you go on tour. Do you sell out football fields? Right? Are
Mhm.
you like, you know what I'm saying? Like the Beyonce's, the what's her name? Travis Kelsey's girlfriend, Taylor Swift. Sorry, Taylor Swift. Right? The Weeknd's up there too. The Weeknd is up there as well.
Travis Kelsey
So his tour was called
girlfriend is
After
wild.
Hours Till Dawn. That was the Weeknd's tour that surpassed Michael Jackson as the highest
Oh,
grossing tour by a Black artist.
okay.
So that's big up to the Weeknd. So I'm saying
Wow.
that's why I tell all the time, like, if the Weeknd got it before Drake, I think, and it's Jay-Z, right? I'm wondering, back to your question, I can see, like, I think the Drake going on tour now is good, but I haven't been to a Drake tour show before. I saw Drake when he first came up. I actually been to his concert. I've seen his stuff before, but his last couple of tours I haven't gone because the pandemic and all that stuff. But I know his weekend in Toronto is huge, right? A lot of people love his weekend in Toronto. So I don't know. I mean, I think Drake would probably be done before Jay-Z. I can see Jay-Z doing it only if it's in New York. Like, I think he wants it for like a moment where it's like going to be for his hometown and him giving back to his hometown.
Mhm.
So how about you though? Who do you think will have it before Drake or Jay-Z?
I think, yeah, I agree with you with the location, but if I were to go with one, maybe Jay-Z. I think
Hmm.
maybe Jay-Z would have one beforehand. You mentioned location. I think also keep in mind, and this is respectfully, Jay-Z, Father Time is undefeated and he's getting older. I don't know if, there's kind of a window. I don't know if you go past maybe 5 more years, if Jay-Z will be able, not saying he can't go on stage and perform, but like,
Oh man, this guy's calling him man Jared. Listen,
no,
if
no,
if J-Lo can swing her tail around a stripper pole
right, yeah.
on Superbowl in her 50s, I think Jay-Z will be
Mhm.
okay for him.
No, 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 yeah, I get it. I just feel
If
like if
Snoop Dogg can do drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot, and he's 50, I think Jay-Z will be okay. He
yeah,
keeps it, he
I
stays
just
fit, he eats healthy. And for him, let's be real, if he ever the Super Bowl time, he gonna have his friends join him. And we're gonna see a Beyonce, we're gonna see a Rhea, we're gonna see all of
yes,
his favorite artists
right.
come on stage too. So I think
But
it will be a very interesting, curated type performance.
right.
So
But if you are
I don't want to
Jay-Z,
say that
you're
I'm
kind
trying
of
to
on a
be
shorter timeline than you are with Drake, I think. So I think you just might wanna
He said, "Yo, JayZ, man, you're old, damn, you're old man star.
no.
You better come on stage soon before you can't walk on the stage." God.
Shout out to Jay-Z. Shout out to
Shout out, man. Big up, yo, big up to your
Mhm.
exhibit. Shout out to
Yes.
you. Love
Hmm.
it. Big up to Rock Nation.
Hmm.
Great way to give back to your community. So big
Hmm.
up to them. The Book of
Goat.
Hove.
Yeah, Book of Hope. He's goat. All right. Nelly J, let's close it out with That's
That's
Absurd.
absurd. Faheem, bro. What was absurd this week? What was absurd?
In Serbia, the best player in Serbia that was voted by the Serbian Basketball Federation, believe it or
Mm-hmm.
not. Now, keep in mind, Nikola Jokic, MVP for the NBA,
Finals MVP too.
Finals MVP too.
Mm-hmm.
He's from Serbia and plays on the team with Bogdan Bogdanovic,
Mm-hmm.
who plays for the Atlanta Hawks. Or, yes, he's still with the Hawks. And the Federation voted Bogdan Bogdanovic as the best player on the team over Nikola Jokic. Now,
No, well, it says best player in Serbia, not best
in
player
Serbia,
by was it by the team? They
yes.
were like just yeah, okay.
Okay. So that's, first of all, that's absurd.
Absurd. Like
Right.
what?
But
Okay.
also the distance between the votes. Um,
Nasty
he had
work.
twice as much votes than Joker.
Almost three times.
Almost, you're right. Almost, it was 27 votes to 10, almost three times. Absurd, Nelly J.
Yeah, maybe because in Serbia they see more of Jokic watching horses and dancing at parties than they see him playing basketball. But come on, man. You got there's no way on any planet you're gonna think again, I like Bogey. Great shooter, defend, yeah, but the man can score, he can shoot. He's not a
Mm-hmm.
better basketball player than Jokic. He's
Mm-hmm.
not. He can't passing, dribbling, shooting, scoring. Like again, like I like Bogey. He's someone I'll say like with the Raptors if they were to get him, I would love that. But I know the Hawks will never give him up. But no, like Bogey is literally a rotational player in the NBA at best. That's his role. I don't think he'll ever be a star, an all-star. No, he will be a rotational NBA player. The other guy, he's the best in the league. He's won MVPs. He's won a championship. He's won a Finals MVP. And trust me, if he was playing on the FIBA Cup, now for him, I wonder if they're kind of hating on on Nikola and Jokic because he didn't play for FIBA. The man just won a championship. He's on vacation, so clearly they were
Good
hating on
point.
him because they
Good
want him to
point.
play. But
Good
guess what?
point.
Get over yourselves. Get over yourselves, okay? I understand you guys were upset that he didn't play, but we
Mhm.
cannot be disrespectful, okay? And trust me, when y'all play in the Olympics, you're gonna need the Joker on your team to even win
Right.
anything to compete.
Right.
So get out of here. Yeah, but Jokic played with them. Remember the summer before he played with? Remember that the whole game against Giannis, Greek versus Serbia. Like they had the highlights of like FIBA World Cup to qualify for the
Mhm.
Olympics. He was playing with them in the
Mhm.
qualifying games. So like, what's the problem? That's weird. Come on,
Mhm.
man. weird energy, dog.
Absurd.
Absurd.
I have nothing else to add. That's
absurd. Serbians watch more NBA basketball. Okay. Blessings.
Respect the Joker.
Respect.
All right. Nelly J, let's put this episode in the books.
All right, y'all. That was the Good Rookie Show. So, guys, my shout out this week is actually really quick. I saw something for him. The Professional Hockey League, right? It was launched last month, I believe. The Pro Hockey League for women, that just launched, and it seems like it's going really well in terms of like attendance and performance. So they actually had Professional Women's Hockey League, the PWHL. They actually have 6 teams, and it's Boston, Minneapolis, Montreal, New York, Ottawa, Toronto. And the league just began for him in January 2024. They already broke attendance records. Their first official game has sold out crowds. So just want to give a shout out to these ladies, the PWHL. Loving it. I'm hoping that they will have more teams joining. The season will have 72 games for him, and it started on the 1st of January this year. So big up to the PWHL. I love seeing this for them, and I'm hoping that they have a successful first inaugural season. That's it. That's me.
Nice. I'll end on that. That's super strong shout out for me.
Okay. He's like, a shout out for me. Big up yourselves, y'all. How about Darko? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do a second shout out. I'm gonna shout out to Darko because Darko definitely stood up for his teammates. That thing, what the refs did, Penn Taylor, should be investigated. But Faheem, this is ridiculous. How are you doing all? Like, there's no reason for refs to be so heavily involved in the outcome of basketball game. Officials, your job is to officiate, ensure there's fair play, and ensure that. But Faheem, you can't call no whistle the first half and then call every whistle in the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? I used to ref. Refing, you always call the whistles early on to establish what you want to establish. You don't call these calls later. And then we saw clips of Scotty and other guys getting fouled, and they looked away. So clearly it was a one-way whistle. But big up to Darko for stepping up, telling the league what every coach wants to say when they play LeBron. I'm here all for it. So big up to Darko for really having his guys back. I will give him that. That's my second shout out.
Nice. And yeah, big up to Darko for actually sticking up for his player and, backing Scotty Barnes. I mean, he didn't get much votes for the All-Star, which is maybe another topic for another day. But yeah, big up for Darko for having his team back and not being afraid of the fine, which is $25,000.
Well worth it. He got it all out.
Yeah. Complete crap.
Love it.
All right, Nelly J, let's put this episode in the book.
All right, y'all. That's the Good Rookie Show. If you had a good time, enjoyed yourself, please like and subscribe. And tell a friend to tell 3 friends. Faheem.
We're on all platforms if you're looking for us. You know what it is. It's the Good Rookie Show. And we out.